Hi, hello, my name is Yamil and welcome to my channel. And I have more than, I think, 15 years experience on marketing and sales. So I have actually, I think it was last week, I had a great conversation with one of the subscribers of the channel asking about, she was tired of purchasing leads and not closing them. And so there's one thing that came to mind, and it's to have proper expectations of leads. So out of 10 leads, closing one or two of them is actually average. Um, but there's always a way of improving those numbers. So that's what I want to talk about today. So there's a few things that came to mind when I spoke with her, and I'm sure that a lot of you are going through that if you own a catering company and you feel that you're not closing enough, leads. So the number one thing is that when you buy a lead, you have to get on that immediately. Like the moment that it hits it, it needs to be contacted. And my preferred method is picking up the phone and calling that person. Most and no, because here's the thing: most lead portals, lead companies, lead websites, they sell that lead to at least 3 to 5 caterers at the same time, and maybe even more. There's really no way to know. But I we used to do that in a catering company that I used to work for, and I know that many times if I waited, like let's say we got the lead on Saturday and we run an event and we didn't get until that's why I usually don't buy didn't we didn't buy them in automatic. We bought them based on when they came in, but the moment they came in and we knew this was something we wanted to bid on, we hit that right away and we contacted that person right away. There was like the moment my boss would, because usually she would be the eventually in the beginning she would buy them and she would call them right away, or I will, and then once I was trained, she would let me know, okay, so you can buy up to 10 leads this week or whatever, or this day or whatever, depending on the budget that she could afford. So you can go ahead and the moment they hit the inbox, if you see them and meet like what we're looking for, buy it right away and contact them right away. That's the number one thing. You have to get on the phone. I know that some people just send them an email and then expect to hear back. No, 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 no. When you buy a lead and you're already spending that money, you need to contact them right away, because trust me, whoever contacts them first will get, number one, the first impression first, and will also get there's a bigger chance that you're going to get the better chance that you're going to actually get the attention. Because the moment they start getting um, a lot of people contacting them by email and phone and and text, then they're going to be like overwhelmed with the amount of people that are contacting them, and that's the worst thing. People don't buy when they're confused. So which kind of goes into my next point, is that you make the contact, but you need to have already, and I know catering, trust me, I understand food costs, especially nowadays. We're in 2022. It's off the roof. It changes every time you go to the freaking store by, even if it's a quarter, it affects food costs, or it affects, if you're one of those that create, make custom menus, I completely understand. But give them, if you give them like, because many times the clients won't even know what the hell they're looking for, right? They'll created this, they know they're getting married, they know they need to start looking for a caterer, but they don't really have an idea. They don't never been at a catered wedding maybe, or if they don't have a vision, give them a vision. Give them a vision, to something that could. So what we did, we had um, kind of template menus. We didn't give them the exact price, but we gave them an average price, right? So we would say, okay, so we would have, past hors d'oeuvres, right? So we would have like, it could be, we would have like a list of 10 possible items, and so we would have different templates based on the amount of guests. So if it was just like a 50, so we would have on the bottom, we would have, okay, so you can have like these 10, out of these 10 items, you could have 4 items that you select. And then you can have, if it's for 50 people, it would be this much. For 100 people, it would be this much. And, and also give them an option for, what is it called? Like those boards with the cheese and it's a French word. I'm not gonna act like I know how to say it, but you know what I'm saying. It's basically like a buffet kind of thing with fruits and cheese and hams and different types of meats. So so you can give them an option. This it would be around this much, if like an estimate, and then like an app, so they kind of have an idea. This per person, it could be from $5 to $10 per person, just to give an example. Or if it's a buffet, it could be 5 to 10 person, of course, depending on the items that they choose. But give them an idea what you can offer for that budget. Then so they can choose to go a little higher end, or they can go a little lower end, but just to give an idea. Then also we did for same thing with like dinner menu. So you can choose the, like for example, low end. So you have three different types of chicken, and then or a paella, or so you give them you give them something to kind of be able for them to start constructing their menu, and then you can go in and then give them a custom menu. But don't spend too much time giving them a custom menu unless they know what they're looking for. If they tell you, yeah, I know exactly what my vision is, I want a paella, it's a Spanish wedding thing, I want a paella. And of course you'll have to have non-seafood options, and but you see what I'm saying? If they already have a vision, they work with that vision and let them know, okay, so this is what you want. And if you already have experience with that vision, give them a very loose estimate. Give them, okay, so we're talking about $100 per person. It would all be glass. We can have two people. Is that within what you had in mind? Always check in with the person. Is this what you have in mind? And if they say, oh no, damn, I didn't know it was going to be that expensive. Okay, well, let's look at other options. Perhaps maybe like a if it's like a Hispanic, again, I'm Hispanic, so I can give a lot of options like that. I can say, okay, so maybe arroz con pollo, like an imperial rice, maybe a better option, because that would be most cost effective, and that can bring the price to this. And maybe instead of having it served at the table, sit down service, maybe we can do a different kind of service. Maybe we can do, a buffet style thing, or, where somebody behind it serving the person, this person is not serving themselves an enormous amount of food to keep with the food cost. But give them options. But always, again, don't go create a custom menu and spend all that time creating, looking at the food cost, unless that person already has a vision and has already kind of, and you feel that that, and you give them an average and they said, yeah, that's within my budget. If they say that's not within my budget, be real with them and let them know, okay, so this is the option I can do for you. Because obviously we want to stay with the quality, and if it's 100, 200 people, we don't want to have just one person on the floor, picking up glasses, and and keeping the room, whatever, whatever it is that you want to offer, whatever you're known for. So always, try to, like if it's a wedding, okay, and they want this whole, oh, they want a dessert of these kinds of desserts, but they have a budget, you let them know, listen, trust me, most people are going to get a little drunk and tipsy. They're not going to eat all that candy, unless you're having a no alcohol thing, and also with the alcohol, you can also offer them, listen, why don't you have a signature drink and then wine and beer and wine? Or, like figure out different ways of cutting costs if their budget doesn't fit it. They'll work with you. Like if you demonstrate that they do want to work with them, they'll work with you, and they're going to choose the person and the company that they feel better fits their vision. Okay. And that is willing to work with them. With that said, not every client, not every lead is going to be a client for you. Okay, that is very important for you to understand. Not every client is a good client for you. If the vibe is not right, if you feel this person is just looking for the cheapest thing, do you want to be known to be the cheapest caterer out there? Or do you want to be known as the best caterer out there because of the service, because of the flavors, because of the experience? Okay. So when you talk to these people, don't talk to the leads like you're desperate for them. It's extremely important. It's like dating. If you're dating someone and this person is giving you desperate vibes, you're not going to respect them like you're going to respect someone that knows their stuff, and understand the industry and is willing to negotiate and come up with a solution to fit their vision, but not going to budge and say, oh, well, I was hoping for $5 per person. You tell them, I'm sorry. Maybe you can get Chipotle to cater for you or something. Give them options, but not you're not going to go down to that level. Do not go down to that level. It's better not to close. And you have to understand a lot of people doing the leads, hitting, they're just looking to see how much this stuff even costs. A lot of them, this is their first call. This is their first, and a lot of them are not gonna, if they don't pick up the phone, if they don't call you back, this is what I used to do. I will call them. Didn't get them on the phone, I would send them a text message. Don't leave a voicemail. Nobody checks those anymore. You go in, you leave them a text message. Say, hey, this is your meal from XYZ company, catering company. I know you were looking for a caterer. Call me. Let me know when we can chat about your event. If they don't call you back, if all they do is forget it, move on. Because it's just a lot of them are just trying to see what they can get, or maybe they're not even, sometimes people do it without even having a date or having an idea, or they just started the process. Maybe they just got engaged yesterday. They're looking for a caterer already. And maybe the venue they go with ends up doing their own catering and not allowing outside catering. You see what I mean? So unfortunately, you can't do anything about those. It is what it is. That's part of the deal. So if you close 1 to 2 out of 10, that's probably average because of the quality of the leads. These leads are not checked. No one has talked to them to find out if they're even at that process yet. They don't understand how long it takes. So that's why it's good to always have kind of like a average menu, average prices, to see if that's even in their budget. If you can't get a hold of somebody, you send, and you already put how many people, what kind of event, if it's a wedding or if it's anniversary or whatever information the lead company that you go with put in, have different kind of menus available. Send them as a PDF. And if you don't hear from them, c'est la vie, it is what it is. But one of the things that I want to say is the fortunes in the follow-up. Can't tell you how many times by the fourth time that I followed up on a lead, finally they get back to me because they were overwhelmed. And then I got to sit down with, I got to understand their event. I got to give them different options based on the budget. And then the most important thing to me was to get to the tasting, get a tasting booked. That was, and we didn't have, the company I worked for didn't, at that moment, we didn't, our office was still a mess. I ended up having to actually get like one of those carpet machines to clean the carpet, because that carpet was filthy, it was disgusting. I got to organize the place, set up a table setting, and then we were able to have tastings in our warehouse, in our office. But for a long time, we did it in my boss's dining room at her home. And I tell you, people loved it. But the thing is, I would say out of each tasting, out of 3 tastings, 2 of them booked, hands down. Because you get to sit with them, you get to talk with them, break bread with them, and get their feedback. And usually they loved everything, and they loved meeting the chef, and they loved meeting our captain, event captain, and they get to, and I ended up being very involved with their wedding and do a lot of wedding organizing, and so it's important also to make that human touch. And it was so worth it, the money that we spent on having the chef and having me and having, I was the director of marketing, so I was involved in it. So another thing that, in the beginning, of course, you're going to be the one doing the sales, but as soon as you can outsource the sales, so that, as a CEO, you should be the visionary. You should be the one thinking where to take the company. You should not be the one making the sales. You should have somebody else making the sales that can focus on making the sales, focus on following up, focus on sending, you know, doing the proposals, and and yeah, of course, you will. Somebody has to do the food costs, and if that's not the forte of the person, I understand that you hire, but at least focus on sending the feelers out, focus on networking with these people, just focus on asking if they booked it already. Is there anything I can do to help you? Can I help you with the rentals? Can I give you suggestions, for the rentals? If they need to get the rentals, getting the connections with the rentals, even including the rentals in the proposal, so that you handle that, and then you can, you work a deal with the vendor, so you have another source of revenue. But it's I highly, like, I've been involved with a few companies, and always when the CEO is the one making the sales, it's just the company is hard to grow a company that way. You gotta have a CMO, chief marketing officers, or director of marketing, someone that handles all those pieces. Or it's focused on bringing more clients, closing more clients, so that you can focus on the vision. You can be the visionary of the company, and you can keep working on, maybe working with the chef on a new concept, new menu concepts, and those types of things. Going to conferences, where you can get to network with other people and see, again, it's all about keeping that vision, growing that vision, the company, so that your salesperson can concentrate on selling, concentrate on the marketing, and and closing those leads. So one more thing is, and this I did with another company, not with that company, because I that was many years ago. But adding those leads, those emails, adding them to a database, even if it's just an Excel spreadsheet, or what I do is add it to a Google Sheet, and then automate following up with them. So one of the things I did is that I did it manually, but now I do it. I use software, and I can make a video about that if I get any comments down below. On the software that I use, this, it's just being a game changer. It connects the, like, your Gmail or your email um with an Excel spreadsheet, right? Or a Google Docs. And then all those leads I would put in there, and I would put the emails from all our clients that became or did not become clients. It didn't matter. But then come Christmas time, I would send them an email letting them know, hey, we have a holiday email. We're doing parties up, from 10 people above. And like we offered drop off catering. So, like, for, dinner parties at home, or office parties, and that sort of thing. So we had a menu um established already, that they could download. And we would send them a link to the menu, and then they would download and maybe give it to the boss, or if they were the ones organizing something, or they would forward it. We asked them the email, please forward this to the person in your office, in your job employment, that is making plans for holidays. So we would do that for Valentine's Day. We did, uh, like romantic dinners. We would, again, like a drop off, with a nice filet mignon or something, just something very extravagant, very lovely. We did the same thing for Mother's Day. We did the same thing for Father's Day. Father's Day, we may have a brisket or something, something more hearty. And because we had all these ovens and stuff that will be easy to do. And then, um, we did the for the summer also, like, if they, picnics. We did a lot of picnics, corporate picnics. So we tell them, hey, again, if you, and it's always good to do that, hey, please let us know if you guys are planning, your company's planning a picnic. We'll love to bid on the project. And we will get a lot of things like that. So, but it's but having all those emails that from prior quotes, even if they didn't buy from you, doesn't matter, because there's all those people work somewhere, or their own business or something, so you can get back to them and say, hey, how are you, and just automate all those pieces, so that, and again, your CMO, your, director of marketing should be able to do that, to set up a system, use a system to set up an email that blast that will go out to all those people. Mailgun, the monkey the monkey email thing. I can't remember. But there's so many softwares out there that, as long as you have a list, you can monetize that list. You can keep sending them, sales, or 20% off for Thanksgiving dinner. We did that a lot. We did a lot of Thanksgiving, that we will cook everything and we should drop it off. We would rent vans. We did actually a big company. um we rented vans and rented, and hired extra, like, temporary staff to bring lunch to, like, it was like 10 different locations the same day. So it was crazy, but we made it happen. And but we did it that way. Like, we bid on the process, and we just let people know, hey, we're looking for bids. We will be happy to bid on a projects like that. And so that was very good, and it gave us, a lot of revenue. But anyway, I hope this video helped. If there's any other questions, I'll leave my phone number, my personal phone number, in the comments. I do love to talk to you guys. Let me know if you want a video showing automation on that, on follow-ups with the leads. Like, if you have leads that you're purchasing and you want to put them on a Google Sheet, you can also set up, like, I can make a video on Zapier, which is what I use to set up automatic. But there's other ways of doing it. But I just use Zapier because I'm very good with it, and it's super easy to create a follow up. That anytime you add a new email, it will send them a follow up. You can do 3, 4, 5 different touch ups. In the follow ups, it's super important, um, on how to craft it that it's not salesy. So what I do is that I do this for other businesses that I do. Okay, so my first email maybe just, hey, did you have any questions about your quote? Just so you know, we have this XYZ flexibility. Two, the second email would be maybe having some testimonials. I know you got a lot of quotes, but here's some testimonials, maybe links to videos, like, what, something easy for them to see. I would do, like, I would take screenshots of testimonials that were left on Google, and then I would put them on that email. And in between, I would do some writing, but it would have like 3 different testimonials. And then the third email would be like, yeah, maybe this not for you, but have you, and then, like, one of the emails should be, the first email is your story, your brand story. Why, like, something personal about you, how you came up with this concept or this company or whatever. And then the number 2, you want to do it like, like, just letting them know what people are saying about your company and about your food. Number 3, maybe offering an event, maybe a tasting, or something like that. So you want to, like, not just buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, but more like give them reasons why to stay in touch with you and to keep you on the loop of the process, and that sort of thing, so that they see you as, oh, okay, this feels good. So you make them feel good about you, because the consumer now wants to know who you are, who they're doing business with, where they're throwing their money at, where they're spending their money. They're more conscious of that. So you definitely want to give them that information, so that it helps them know you, feel they know you better, feel they want to connect with you. Okay, and there's always something that we can connect with people with. There's always something. Even if we're different races, there's always something. Maybe maybe, yeah, maybe let's say you're black and the client is white, but maybe you were raised by a single mom, and maybe she was too. You see what I mean? There's always something as humans that we can connect beyond race, beyond gender. Okay. There's always something. So letting your guard down and kind of putting yourself out there, be vulnerable, it helps them understand. Like, I have a legal business, and on that legal business, my first email following up is letting them know about me, why I got involved in the industry. And I let them know my story, and I can tell you how many times people based on that email decide to hire me, because I tell them, no, I'm not the cheapest, and always say that from the get-go. I'm not. I know you got other quotes, they're cheaper than me, but let me tell you why maybe you want to do business with me. See what I mean? It just kind of, you know let them know straight up, I'm not the cheapest. If you're looking for the cheapest, I'm not that it. But if you're looking for someone that's reliable, and because, then maybe we want to talk a little more. Okay, I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit the subscribe, like button. Let me know what state you're in. Let me know what's your biggest issue with leads, and what has worked for you, and what um, call me if you want like a free consultation. No problem. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to help you grow your business. All right. Until the next video. Bye.